Welcome to Life in the Dark. Life with COVID-19, coronavirus, I think it's called. So I'm going to just share some random mental notes I've made in my head right now. But first, I want to share this drink with you, which probably tomorrow I will just video record me making this all over again and explaining the process and how I'm doing it. The ingredients you've all heard of before. I'll tell you what those are in a second. But the process in which I put these ingredients together and made this glass is a bit different. In fact, maybe I invented it. I don't really know. Maybe you can drop a comment and let me know. Speaking of dropping a comment, if you're on YouTube, even if you're not on YouTube, go over there, subscribe to me on YouTube, like my videos, comment, drop your comments, and that helps me out a ton with getting more exposure, so I keep making these free videos. Or maybe you're on Facebook watching the live version of this. So here's the ingredients. The ingredients are a lot of turmeric, a lot of ginger root, black pepper, a couple bulbs of garlic, cayenne pepper, and water. That's it. None of it is heated up. This particular concoction is completely raw. And I didn't add lemon, I didn't add any of that other stuff. Those are fine ingredients, but for this, I just wanted to keep it super simple and basic and 100% raw. I did use lukewarm water that I heated up on the stove, but I did not let it get above 117 degrees. That's where the digestible enzymes start dying and it loses its medicinal healing power. In fact, I don't think this got above 100 degrees, to be honest with you. So this is 100% raw, every ingredient in it. And the ginger root and the turmeric root, that I use from the fresh produce department, so not even the powder. Cayenne, I use cayenne powder, but the cayenne powder that I use comes from a special cold process, so not even that is heated up in the processing of the cayenne pepper powder. Hi everybody! Let's see if there's any comments so far. Okay, there we are. Hi. Okay, I can see comments now. And then the garlic. The garlic I also did from the fresh produce department. Now the garlic, I would actually put down on a cutting board. Now it's smash it under a knife. And that's the first thing that I do, and I let that sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes, more like about 10 minutes, while I do the other things with turmeric and the ginger, skinning that and then grating that actually. But I'll show you how I do that tomorrow when I make my video on how exactly I made this concoction. I haven't taken my first sip yet. I'll do that now. That's quite potent. That's what happens when you don't heat it up and kill anything. Holy cow. I can't imagine, like, if you don't have COVID and you just have a regular illness, God, this has got to knock it right out. But this is not a regular illness. This sore throat, it just will not go away. But at least that's all I'm contending with right now. So I'm actually pretty grateful because there's a lot of other people that are dealing with it in a much worse way, and a lot of people that are not surviving either. So it's a painful virus, that's for sure. But everything in here, all these ingredients that I mentioned, it's all antiviral, so that makes it extremely relevant. And antifungal, antiparasitic too, for that matter, some of the ingredients are. And all of it improves blood circulation, which is important for healing, right? The red blood cell counts and hemoglobin. And of course, antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, because there's a lot of inflammation with the virus too. So all of that is extremely relevant, and all of these ingredients are extremely purposeful. And the reason I put the black pepper in here, in case I don't remember if I mentioned it yet, but the black pepper is a brilliant pairing with turmeric because it increases the nutrient absorption. And when you're dealing with raw turmeric and everything else raw, then you're going to get so much more of the medicinal power, the healing power from those ingredients. Don't tell me that's cool, right? It's very cool. Oh, that's good. Now another way to make all of this is to just juice it. And I have a really good juicer, but I don't always feel like bringing the juicer out because it's a lot of fun to use, but the cleanup of a juicer freaking sucks. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. That's if you're fluent at it, which I'm pretty fluent at it, but I just don't feel like doing it. So this method that I sort of invented, I think I invented it. I haven't seen others do it. But I think I invented this method, and it's really great for getting all the juices out of even turmeric roots and ginger root. Let me show you something. You might think I'm crazy, but I am definitely crazy on the right side of the crazy fence. Stay there. Check this out. Among the many wonderful things I have in my refrigerator, I typically have these ingredients, garlic, ginger, turmeric, but I have a particular large volume of those ingredients right now. I mean, for example, this is just one big bag of ginger and turmeric. So here's what the turmeric root looks like. A lot of people don't know this because most people just get it in powder form, but that's turmeric. I've got tons of it. And I got tons and tons of ginger roots and turmeric root. This whole big thing is just loaded. I should just take a picture of that tomorrow and when the sunlight comes back up. And then this is the whole big thing of all these garlic cloves, fresh garlic. And I got another one of these in there too, of just garlic. So I'm spending half the day in the kitchen these days right now, just making my concoctions all day long. I've got other things in my medicine cabinet right there too, like lemons and so forth. And a lot of supplements as well, like zinc, which is very relevant to COVID-19, calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and quercetin with bromelain, which you see right here. Solar Ray is a great provider, calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Those are very relevant for even a medical doctor. A medical doctor, they almost never talk about anything natural, and a medical doctor, a pulmonary specialist, was telling me these are very relevant for COVID-19 specifically. And of course, the oil of oregano, this is a really great maker, Gaia. Oil of oregano is nature's most powerful antibiotic. So I've been taking a couple of those every day since this started. And I've also got elderberry syrup, of course vitamin C, which I did a megadose on of about 10,000 milligrams. So all that stuff sort of contributes. And lemon oil, very concentrated lemon oil, but I've also got the fresh lemons from the produce section too. And this stuff has been great. Throat coat, very good stuff. As well as Anacia with elderberry, so some good teas. All this stuff that's not just medicinal, but specific for COVID-19 symptoms. And all of this stuff is also great because this is all stuff you could take even if you're feeling fine and you just want to build up your immune system on a daily basis, which you should be doing anyway. And that really is the first line of defense, is when you get sick, to go into it with an already strong immune system. Because, you know, I do this stuff kind of on a daily basis, just more concentrated right now because of the COVID-19 illness that I have and the symptoms. So I'll be fine. But I just wanted to show you that shot from my medicine cabinet over there with all that beautiful ginger root and turmeric root. The supplements are great and I've got those, but nothing's going to replace the actual plants from the fresh produce section and making that up with different processes. And this process specifically was a cold process, never heated up. So I'm going to get the most out of it. And that's what I put in my body more frequently than the stuff that you heat up on the stove. And the stuff you heat up on the stove is fine too. But man, nothing is more potent than just keeping it raw, keeping everything living, and then drinking it in a liquid format. And the reason why a liquid format is important when you're sick is because your body has one energy source, and when you're healing from something, your body is using that one energy source to heal. And if you're eating solid foods and all the fibers and so forth that comes with it, then your body is spending a lot of energy. It's called the thermic effect of feeding. It's spending a lot of energy breaking down that food and digesting it, versus if you get it in liquid form, it's going to go to the bloodstream much more easily and go where it needs to go to heal. And at the same time, your body is going to have its energy supply reserved for healing instead of having to divide it between healing and then digesting the solid food. So that's why eating more or digesting more liquid type stuff is more beneficial when you're sick, depending on the kind of illness that you have. But my only symptom right now, and hopefully the last one I will be dealing with, is a sore throat. But stuff like this is really helping. So this I like because, among many other reasons, it feels good going down. It is really potent. It's harsh, but man, it does feel good going down. So it's good to just sip on slowly. So, and it'll also make it last longer too. And then, of course, once it's inside of you, it passes down your throat and your esophagus and into your tummy. And it goes where it needs to go throughout your body. Of course, it's going to be delivered to the cells, and it's going to help heal a sick body as well. And here's my disclaimer. This is just general information. I'm not saying this to undermine any healthcare worker, medical doctor, treatment, prescription you're getting. This is not that. This is general information, not specific to anybody, and sharing with you what is working. And my quarantine is up in just a couple of days, which I'm excited about. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go shopping. Instead of ordering stuff online, I will go get it my damn self. I'm looking forward to that. I had another thought of something I wanted to do as well. I don't remember what it was, but I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to most in a couple days when my quarantine is up. I know. I will end on this note. I see people saying they love garlic and yum, and I love that stuff. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome. Trish Carr, are you building any fires lately? How am I holding up? Kyla, I'm holding up pretty good. I'm just annoyed with this sore throat that doesn't want to go away. Though I have to say right now, sipping this stuff. This is up there with the most positively impactful things I've been doing as far as natural therapies go. Big fan of garlic, big fan of lemons. Awesome. One thing with me, you guys can tell me if you have this issue too. If I have too much lemon, and it's because lemon, when it goes down, obviously it's topical in your mouth as it goes down, but it'll start to burn my tongue eventually, so then I have to back off the lemon, and I got to that point earlier today, so I was like, all right, no more lemon, man. So I made this concoction here that doesn't have any lemon, because lemon is very acidic outside of the bloodstream. It's weird. It's like it's got this bipolar disorder. Lemon is extremely acidic until it gets into your bloodstream, and then it's the most alkaline thing you can put in your body. It's amazing that the most alkaline thing you can put in your body is the most acidic thing outside of your body. I mean, it can eat through what's the stuff that protects your teeth? I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't think of what it is at the moment, but the lining of your teeth that protects your teeth, it can eat through that because it's highly acidic. So you don't want to do lemon just straight up, just suck it through a straw or dilute it in water or something, drink it. And even if it's diluted in water, you're still going to want to rinse your mouth out with water if you do lemons. But the lemons also on my tongue, it enamel, there you go. Thank you, Kyle. I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Lemon outside of the bloodstream is so acidic it will eat through your tooth enamel. So thank you, Cheryl. So that is why, even if you dilute it in water and you drink it, you still want to rinse your mouth out with water to get all that off of your teeth, because it is so harmful to your teeth. And in my case, and maybe you guys too, you can tell me if I'm just an alien or if you guys can relate, but eventually it makes my tongue very sore and sensitive, and that's where it was at earlier today, so I had to stop with the lemon for a while, and that's okay, whatever. I've got my, if I need more lemon right now, I got my lemon oil, which is very concentrated, just one drop in a glass of water, chug it back real quick, and I think I'd be fine. Or suck it through a straw, I don't know. Talk a little louder. I'm talking pretty loud right now. Is anybody else having a hard time hearing me? That might be Facebook. I'm not sure, because this is a live feed rather than a recorded video, so the quality just isn't going to be as good. Unfortunately. Hello, Don. This is the best thing in the world to sip. Oh my God, that just feels so good going down. It doesn't taste like the greatest thing in the world, but it doesn't taste bad. One of the other things that I've been doing that's really hardcore is I will take turmeric and or ginger roots. I will peel it like an inch worth or 2 inches worth, and I'll cut it up into little chunks, and I'll just pop it all in my mouth, and I'll chew on it, and I'll suck down all the juices that I can. And when I can't suck it down anymore, I'll spit out the pulp in the trash can or whatever. If that's not easy to do, that is actually pretty difficult, but man, that is about the most straight up, straightforward, most powerful way to get those healers into your body. Well, they're not healers. Your healers are in your body, but the raw materials into your body to get those healers working, right? That's a hardcore way of doing it. And then when I do that, I'll actually put some pepper on my palm and just lick it off my palm so that I increase the nutrient absorption of the turmeric. That's pretty neat stuff. And that is actually very good for your teeth as a topical solution, and gums, teeth and gums, and so is garlic too, for that matter. But with garlic, you have to be careful. If you're going to take garlic straight up like that, you don't want to do more than a clove. Because if you do too much raw garlic in one sitting all at once, you will drop your blood pressure, and you could drop it to very unsafe levels to where your heart isn't getting enough volume of blood to function anymore. You could kill yourself that way. It's happened. It's very rare, but so you want to be really careful with raw garlic. The reason it's so rare that happens is because raw garlic is really tough to stomach, chew it up and so on in your mouth. It burns. It's like, God, spit it out. Oh my God. It's even more harsh than raw onion. So it's not typically a problem, but some people can handle that or palate it more than others, in which case they need to be very careful. But just the right amount of raw garlic is so good for you, and too much could kill you. It's incredible. Too much could not only wipe out the worm that's in your body or the bug, but it could wipe you out too. Pretty incredible. You can hear, okay, good. Mostly everyone can hear me. I don't know why you couldn't hear me, Natasha. Hopefully you can now. Yes, it's very quiet. All right, I guess it's a mixed bag then as far as who can hear me and who can't. Let's see. Harlan says, I just ate garlic and bits today. I see. I had a hunch it was the garlic that affected my digestive system a month ago. Well, I couldn't speak to that individually, but like if you have too much raw garlic in one sitting, you'll start to feel it. You will feel off. You'll start to feel lightheaded. I made that mistake once. That's how I found out about it. I consulted with some of my friends who know about that kind of thing, and they told me what was going on. So that's what was going on. I was dropping my blood pressure too much, and when you do that, you decrease the blood volume to your heart and your brain, and you'll feel it. You won't feel very good. I also started to get a tummy ache from it too, but the tummy ache went away pretty quickly, thank goodness. What happened to your digestive system a month ago? And I hope you're okay now, Harlan. But nowadays, I drink a garlic water on a regular basis. In fact, I actually prefer getting straight up garlic in a direct way that way. Just crushing garlic, letting it sit for 10 minutes, putting it into an 8-ounce glass of water, and just drinking it like normal, and then filling up the glass again, and then drinking it again to make sure I got all the garlic juice out. And if I ever like chew on raw garlic again, I'll do maybe excuse me, half of a clove, and I'll just chew it up really good in my back molars, and then however long I can palate it for until it burns my mouth too much, I'll just swish it around, because it is really actually very good for your gums and your teeth to do that if you can palate it. But man, too much really burns badly. Same thing for onion too. And what's really cool about onion, in addition to everything that you read about it, is the onion actually increases the healing capacity of all of your 1 trillion cells in your entire body. So that's why onion is one of those foods I get in my body on a daily basis, and it's best to get it raw. The onion is not best cooked, it's best raw. So every day I get greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Those 6 things: greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. The scope and the breadth of different nutrients that grows from the earth in those 6 foods, it's so wide. The breadth of that wide scope of nutrients is so wide. It really covers you to keep you, free of sickness and disease. And if you should get something like COVID-19 like I did, I haven't been sick in 13 years. That says something, man. Then you're going to deal with it much, much better than you would have otherwise. I mean, look at me. I've had just a couple of symptoms I've dealt with, where a lot of people have many more than a couple symptoms. And unfortunately, to this date, last I heard, it's about 146,000 people that didn't even survive it just in the United States alone. That's a lot of people, man. And the thing that really just blows my mind, so everybody knows that COVID-19 typically hits people the hardest who already have compromised immune systems and who aren't living a healthy lifestyle and eat fast food regularly and fried food and all that stuff, soda pop, and they just don't eat good. So those are the people that are the most vulnerable. And it's really exploiting that in a major painful way. And so what are people doing? Instead of shifting and evolving culturally to change our lifestyles, most people are doubling down. The fast food restaurants, their profits are up. the fried food, their profits are up. Soda manufacturers, all that stuff. They're eating more of the stuff that caused the problem in the first place, and there's some anecdotal stories of individuals who are doing the opposite, who are taking this as a wake-up call to change their lifestyle, and I deeply admire everybody doing that. But they're going against the grain of our culture. There's no promotion going on right now in media or in politics or anywhere, and there should be, of hey, it's the most obvious thing in the world. This thing is attacking people for the most part who have compromised immune systems, who aren't living healthy lifestyles. So we need to change course here. We need to promote and support healthy lifestyles, even tax incentives, monetary and fiscal incentives, whatever it takes, man. There should be massive campaigns by our government and by media and by everyone to promote a healthy lifestyle. And if the exploitation of an unhealthy lifestyle from this COVID-19 doesn't point that out and make it obvious to culture, then I don't know if anything ever will. So it really does come down to individually, we've got to step up and do it. But I know I'm not naive. That's not going to happen. There's going to be individuals that do. But most people don't think for themselves, and they're not really interested in it. So unless government and media gets on board with a massive campaign to promote a healthy lifestyle and incentivizing it, most people just aren't going to do it, and that's the sad reality. But hey, I'm here for people who do like to step outside of the box of what's normal and what's common and, evolve. And those are the kind of people I like to hang out with, people that want to evolve, and especially people who have one set of beliefs, but there's some new information that comes down that's contraindication to what they believe, and then they change their belief and evolve. Those are my favorite people. I like to be around people that like to learn and people that like to self-criticize their beliefs when they're shown that, they're wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not to demonize anybody when they're wrong. It's just be like, oh, I learned something new. Well, let me advance my perspective. And so a lot of what's going on now with our culture, not adapting to a new lifestyle, that goes to the heart of that. Culturally, we are not evolving our perspective. We're not advancing our perspective. We're doubling down on the problems that created this in the first place, and that just blows my mind. So that's a little bit of a sidetrack rant for you. Let's see here. A couple of comments here. I hope you are well, Tom. Thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Harlan. I appreciate that. Let's see. I regurgitated my food. I had a tummy ache and took laxatives. Okay, Harlan. Well, I hope you're feeling better. Let's see here. What is nature's laxative? Is it a date or a prune? Something like that? Something high fibrous? When it comes to fiber, you really got to get soluble and insoluble fibers. Soluble meaning soluble and insoluble, meaning that you're getting a mix of fibers that's soluble in water and fibers that aren't, so that things push through your intestines, and then when it comes out the other end, it's soft and feels good coming out. So, hey Tom, hope you and your mom are feeling better, thank you. Sodas are cheaper than drinking water. It's because they want us to get sick and profit from it. Yeah, I could talk all day long about that one, man. I'm lucky I have severe asthma and COPD. I haven't got COVID yet. Well, I hope you never get it. Prune. There you go, Cheryl. I knew it was prunes. Or dates or something. Prunes, yes, nature's laxative. I'm pretty sure prunes are soluble fibers, right? They're soluble in water, so it makes it softer coming out. And beans are insoluble, so, a daily diet that consists of, say, a can of black beans or kidney beans, and then also a prune and a pear. You're going to get all of your soluble and insoluble fibers, so you got everything covered. So when you have a bowel movement, it's a blissful, heavenly experience. It's a feeling of falling in love. That's what a bowel movement is, a healthy one is supposed to feel like. So you get those soluble and insoluble fibers, and you're going to be much better off. And 80% of your immune system comes from your gut, as well as most of your dopamine and serotonin production too, your feel-good hormones. So get your soluble and insoluble fibers on a daily basis. And that could be as easy as a can of beans and a prune and a pear on a daily basis. Why not? Let's see here. And cherries if you eat enough of them. Yeah, I like cherries. Cherries is also really great for Gout, I believe. Um, Eating cherries, or if somebody already has gout, probably a really good cherry juice so that it's more concentrated. And cranberries are really great for women who suffer UTI, and they make supplements, Demos, I think it's called, or something, the particular part of the cranberry that helps women heal from UTI symptoms. Um, but yeah, for gout, cherries. So when you said cherries, it made me think of that. Let's see here. Sodas are cheaper than water. It's because they want us to get sick and profit from it. Yeah, that's a sad reality. I always said, you put me in charge of the farm bill, and I will reverse all the government subsidies. I won't take them away. I will just redirect them. Right now, government subsidies goes to farmers that grows enough corn and GMO-laden stuff, and they'll have up to 40% of their income subsidized when they grow that kind of food-like food that creates a sick population, and that's absurd. So what I would do is I would subsidize up to 40% of the income of farmers that grow organic food. How about that? No GMOs, just good, clean, wholesome organic food. You know, like our grandparents used to call it food. That would be wonderful. And then the farmers growing GMO stuff wouldn't get any subsidies. So then obviously all the farmers in the country are going to grow healthy GMO-free organic food, right? And because they're getting a lot of subsidies, that's going to transfer to the cash register. So now the good, healthy organic food is going to be the inexpensive foods, and the unhealthy food is going to be the expensive food. Therefore, why would they even carry that unhealthy food anymore? It would be gone. It would be abolished. And we wouldn't even need a law to abolish it, because it would just be the invisible hands of supply and demand that would take care of that. If that one subsidy switched from farmers that are growing toxic food to farmers that are growing healthy organic food, and then everybody would benefit from that. Poor people that don't have a lot of money, and everyone. It would just be better for everybody. But the reason that switch does not take place, oh boy, I didn't think I was going to go into this now, but the reason that doesn't take place is because the food supply right now creates a lot of sick people, and our politicians are bought by corporate PACs that consists of pharmacological drug companies and other places too, but for the purpose of this conversation, the pharmaceutical industry profits billions of dollars a year, and they like a nation of sick people that they can treat and manage and cure of nothing. So then what's the solution for that? We cannot vote for politicians that are on the take of corporate PAC money. That includes Trump. He has over $200 million of corporate PAC money, so he's enemy number one. We are not going to fix the system because he takes money from the system of over $200 million so far. It's not going to be Joe Biden. He takes mostly money from the same corporate donors that Trump takes money from. And to be honest, 90% of Congress takes money from the same corporate PACs, and they are never going to fix that system. They're never going to switch those subsidies that I talked about, because they're bought and paid for not to do that. The piggy bank will dry up if they were to do that. And then what? So it's really up to us then to vote for candidates that do not take any corporate PAC money. Are we going to do that? Probably not. So what are you going to do, man? So I'll get off that topic now. What are your thoughts on growing your own organic food rather than relying on government? Absolutely. I've got some friends that are deep into that. They're growing their own food, and they're learning about self-sustainable living to get off the grid and generating their own electricity at home. I mean, you can really go all out on that to where you become 100% independent. It goes beyond just growing your own food and your own gardens. You can learn how to make everything on your land sort of work in harmony with each other so that you're not wasting anything. And you can solve, because everything is interrelated. This is holistics really, because everything is interrelated. You can set up a house in a way to where you capture the sunlight and the wind, and take care of all of your energy, and grow a garden, and you can have animals, and you can use the animal dung for the fertilizer, and I don't know exactly how all this works. I just understand it on a conceptual level, where you can live in a way where everything is interrelatable, and you harmonize all of these different elements on your property, and you can be energy independent, food independent from your garden, and you name it, on and on. And there's some people that really get far into that, and they pretty much detach themselves from the grid. And I think that is so cool. And even if you weren't to go all out like that, like you just do one of those things, you capture your own energy from the renewables, from the wind and the sun, or maybe just grow your own food and you figure out a way to grow enough of it, and maybe you recycle rainwater so that you can use that, and you just, you know, you do that, and that would be pretty cool. And if enough people did that, maybe 10% of the population, I think I read a stat that said something like if 10% of the population just shopped organic or grew their own food, it would cause a revolution in this country. Just 10%. It sounds doable when you look at it that way. Great discussion. Hi, Tom. Love you. Thanks, Bonnie. Appreciate that. I just got over UTI and gastritis recently. Ouch. I'm glad you got over those things. What's your thoughts of growing your own? Oh, yeah, just answered that one. Let's see here. All right, I'm caught up on comments now. Well, that was pretty fun, sipping the rest of my drink with you. Man, I'm excited to make the video, most likely tomorrow, where I show you exactly how I put this together, the process. It's not just the ingredients, but the process is equally as important as the ingredients, the process of how I put this together, because it kept everything raw and whole and 100% medicinal without leaving anything behind except the pulp. But even still, speaking of gardens, you can always throw that in the garden or just the soil of your yard, so you don't have to waste anything. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna get going here. This video is a bit longer than I thought it would be, but there's so many great comments here. Let's see, here's another one. I chimed in to your live video late. Are you using holistic healing to cure your COVID? Yes, I haven't taken any pharmacological drugs so far, but I will say this: if I feel like I need to, like I'm in a dangerous area with my health, then I will take a pharmacological drug. I'd have to look into that because I'm not fluent on it at all. Someone told me if I get a really high temperature, take Tylenol. I did get a high temperature, but I was able to break that. And if I didn't break my fever as quickly as I did, then I would have taken Tylenol. So keep that in mind. But so far, I haven't needed to take any pharmacological drugs. So even though I haven't been sick in 13 years, pretty incredible, right? I still have not taken a pharmacological drug in over 13 years, even after all of this. And I'm healing from COVID just using nature in various ways. In very strategic, concentrated ways relevant to what I have. I'm using nature. Been a great video. Be well, love you. Thank you, Kyla. I appreciate that very much. And feel free to share this video. I've given away, this was sort of a free-for-all video with a couple of ideas I wanted to talk about, but it's sort of taken a life of its own, and you guys have contributed a lot as far as the content and the topics of discussion. You guys have contributed a whole lot more than I thought was going to happen, and so a lot of really great information has come out of this video. Feel free to share it, and also go over to YouTube, because eventually this is going to be uploaded to YouTube as well. And subscribe to me and like and comment. I love all that stuff, and it really helps me out a lot with the algorithms to get more exposure too, so more eyeballs land on my content. Okay, and if there is nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, and it will always be available because I don't delete these videos. And if you happen to just be on while it's live, congratulations, pretty cool. If you happen to catch the recording later, that's pretty cool too. So for the rest of the night, I've got, well, let's finish this real quick. I've got my turmeric golden milk I'll be sipping on. I don't know if I'm going to eat anything else. I probably won't be doing any more supplements. I've done all those today, so that's cool. So I guess just turmeric golden milk and some throat coat teas will be the rest of my night as far as what I put into my body. And hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be like, oh, my throat is a lot better. That would be nice. That would be really nice. So we'll see how that goes. Bye for now, everybody. Mwah.